indictment.
As Gabby Killett reports, they say corruption has crippled our community for years.
And today's indictment outlines a betrayal of that trust by Mayor Cantrell and Mr. Vappie.
FBI agent Jonathan Tapp investigated New Orleans Mayor Latoya Cantrell and her former bodyguard, then senior police officer Jeffery Vappie, for years. On Friday, Tapp stood with two colleagues from the FBI and acting U.S. Attorney Michael Simpson, proclaiming the investigation a duty to the city.
But the FBI is committed to the people of New Orleans and Louisiana to methodically address every element of an investigation. And that's exactly what we did here.
Simpson agreed with Tapp, saying he's not concerned with Cantrell and Vappie's personal relationship, but rather that he says they benefited from taxpayer money.
It's irrelevant that it's romance or that it's female. What is relevant is that it is an incredible breach of the public trust.
Despite Cantrell and Vappie's past frequent and vehement denials of a personal relationship, Simpson says the case against them is strong.
So I won't comment on specifically the evidence, but one thing I've learned as a federal prosecutor over a long time is that you really don't say anything unless you can back it up pretty definitively.
In the 18-count indictment, prosecutors say Vappie lied to federal agents and Cantrell lied to the grand jury. The feds also say Cantrell attempted to obscure and obstruct the investigation. In the past, Cantrell has said allegations against her were politically motivated.
I'd say that's a nice defense. That's a defense that you would use in court.
Cantrell's office says her attorney, Eddie Casting, is reviewing the indictment. Vappie's attorney, Harry Rosenberg, didn't answer a phone call request for comment. The U.S. Attorney's Office says the investigation into Vappie and Cantrell is ongoing.
The FBI has a duty and obligation to investigate and work with the U.S. Attorney's Office and our partners to hold individuals accountable who put their interests ahead of those they've sworn to serve. No one is above the law.
Gabby Killett, Fox 8, local.
All right, what's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Random Topics here on ScrewTube, Rumble, X, whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope you're blessed and doing safe. Greetings. If you have not done so, I need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We're talking. Of course, I have to be careful with what I'm saying because, as most of you may already know, I am running for office here in New Orleans. Let me put my screen on. There we go. Yeah, what's going on? I'm running for office in New Orleans, actually. And y'all got to hold up a second. Matter of fact, let me do this with the screen off. Y'all, if I don't come on, forgive me. It's business, not personal. Why I'm doing this. I actually was coming from a forum, not my forum, actually, but you know, they have a lot of elections, race for sheriff, and there was a forum with the candidates I was attending with my organization. So that's why. Well, I'll put my, well, it's hard sitting here with the sun. So hold up a second. Let me just move over. All right. I'm going to do this like this. Okay. So I thought I was good with the lighting and so forth, but there's a glare on the computer where I'm at. So let me just do this. Okay. All right. I'm just going to do it like that because it's better. I didn't go in the back because they got TV on. But yeah, that's why I was doing that. You know, I'm with the 100 Black Men organization. So some of you see me with the shirt. We were part of, I want to say, sponsors on this. We were participating in the forum. So that's why I made my appearance there. And I was there to listen to what was going on. It was interesting. This past Friday, of course, the big news that everything has taken over has been this indictment of the mayor of New Orleans, Mayor Latoya Cantrell, in her final year of her second term. In the middle of the election season, she gets formally indicted on 11 charges, including, and you can see from the list here, that conspiracy, wire fraud, obstruction of justice, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and false declaration before a grand jury. So basically, they're charging her with perjury. Jeffery Vappie, who is the mayor's supposed boyfriend, lover, was also formally indicted because he's also charged with fraud because and he's actually facing some charges as well before this indictment because he was part of the mayor's detail. And what the indictment, and you can read here, it's a 45-page felony indictment. What they are stating is that Mr. Vappie was, and Mayor Cantrell basically was stealing time. That's essentially what this comes down to, and that they made a false declaration before a grand jury also means that there was questions that they were asked under oath, and allegedly they said something that was not truthful. That's what they are alleging that the mayor did. Now, and Jeffery Vappie, and you can read this. I'm going to put the link in the comment section. Of course, I have to be careful with what I'm saying because, as you know, I'm running for office here for District E, although it's unrelated. I'm not running for mayor. Probably don't want to run for mayor. This town and the stuff that it has gone through, the corruption of this, everybody knows New Orleans and Louisiana in general is part of a good old boy practice that it has here, practices, I should say. And I don't really have any intentions of, I will never say never, but as of now, I have no intentions of running for that. But, I live in this area. I live in District E, and I'm concerned about what has gone on for the last, I want to say even beyond 20 years, the last 25 years when we started losing businesses closing, department stores closing down, the shutting down of grocery stores, department stores, the mall becoming a dead mall, all of that. My main concern is economic development and so forth. But I'm actually wanted to talk about this. So the mayor is facing this indictment, which is serious. She is the first mayor of this city in the 300 years of New Orleans' existence to be formally charged with a crime while in office. Ray Nagin was charged when he left office. Ray Nagin got it after he left office. They didn't do it during his mayoral, I don't want to say candidacy, but during his time as mayor, he was not formally charged with anything. But Cantrell has been formally charged for the first time in history as a sitting mayor. And yes, she is the first female mayor in history. Of course, you're going to be hearing a lot of people talk about that. All I will say to this, because people have asked me what my position on about the mayor, what she's accused of, what Vappie is accused of, who is an NOPD, who was a senior police officer with the NOPD, essentially. And I looked at the indictment, just looking at it right now. My position on it is that these are just accusations. They have not been proven in court as of yet. She is presumed innocent, like everybody else here in the United States. When you get charged with a crime, you're presumed innocent unless and until they can be backed up by evidence and they're proven beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law, whether that be federal or state. jurisdictions. I can say just from looking at this indictment and the evidence that they supposedly had, it doesn't look good, just from my standpoint on the paper of it. I don't know if there's any defenses that they might have in regards to these accusations. Obviously, if you're talking about wire fraud, with fraud, that is something serious. Certainly, giving false statement, all the charges are serious here, but they're alleging she falsely gave uh, testimony to the grand jury, which I don't know what they're stating she allegedly did, that it would be problematic. But so they're claiming in here there was personal correspondence between the mayor and Mr. Vappie through a WhatsApp, which is known for its security features. Sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, y'all can read the indictment yourself online. There, I'm putting the link in the chat. Again, the link is in the chat. Now, you've noticed something that is interesting. I want to say in the last year, you notice you've had several mayors of certain cities that have come under, have been in trouble. Not just mayors, but also even attorneys, district attorneys. Remember, you had Fannie Willis up in Atlanta, the mayor of New York, Eric Adams. He got indicted on some federal charges a few months back, although I believe those charges were dismissed, I think, with prejudice, if I'm not mistaken. And and then now you have, of course, you had that lady out, that Tiffany Henyard out there in Dalton, Illinois, who was just a disaster. You notice all the political affiliations of all of these individuals is what? Democrats. Now, I know the mayor of New York, he actually became an independent later because he's had a falling out with the Democratic Party, Eric Adams. Eric Adams had a falling out. And Adams is in his first term as mayor since 2022. And I believe that he's, of course, the first Black American to be elected the Brooklyn Borough president, but he's the second Black mayor up in New York because they had Dave Dinkins. But yeah, he's running for re-election in 2025. So that's interesting. They do I believe they do these elections in New York. It sounds like it's every. So if he ran in 2021. So wow, yeah, that's 4 years, I guess. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't know how he's polling, but yeah, re-election, that went by fast. So yeah, the Trump administration dropped charges, instructed the federal prosecutors to drop the charges against Adams, which they did, because yeah, he was charged with he was charged with bribery and fraud and soliciting illegal foreign campaign donations. And he alleged that it was because the Biden administration didn't like how he was handling the migrant crisis. So, indeed, of course, I think, is it possible that a lot of this stuff could be politically motivated? Getting back to Mayor Cantrell, I don't know. I just want to say mum is the word on this at this time because I'm running and I don't want nobody to come up and say I did something. Just make up some shit. The game is played at a high. I can say this: the game is played at a high level. I don't think. I'll just say this much: I don't believe it's a coincidence that Mayor Cantrell got indicted this past Friday during the end of her term, and we have mayoral elections coming up in October. I don't believe that's an accident. That's a coincidence, I should say. And this is the profile on Eric Adams. This is not her first term. This is her second. She's at the end of her second term as mayor. So this is her final term. Can't be reelected. There are several candidates for mayor. There's likely going to be a runoff because the top candidates, which are Oliver Thomas, Helena Moreno, you have Royce Duplessis. You have also some other candidates who are running. Some are independent. Some are Democrat. People that there's a lot of people running who don't know. And look, I'm running. A lot of people say they didn't know. Even though my name has been on the NOLA.com that I was running as a candidate, I had a few people who actually look at it, hit me up, guys, read the news and see stuff. I'm actually supposed to be, I've been hitting the forums, I've been doing things. And when you're running as an independent, it is not easy because money is tight with everything. You're still trying to maintain your sanity, your personal life. It's hard. So that is truthful, but I'm trying to make a name for myself, but also, and that's not the main reason why I did it. I wanted to actually help this area and clean this area up. It's sad when you look at it and look at District E. But anyway, my address says there's so much fraud going on with these sanctuary cities. Well, it's considered Louisiana state law prohibits sanctuary cities. However, we're considered a sanctuary district. Yeah. So there was a federal consent decree with the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office limits with their cooperation with ICE. So there's been a conflict with the NOPD, with New Orleans, and with the feds regarding ICE and so forth. And I'm sorry, I was just looking here. So even if the city of New Orleans would offer sanctuary to the immigrants, it's violating state law. I don't know about well, I wouldn't go that far. My address. I think a lot of people, yeah, they've had issues with immigration in this country. That's a hot topic. That was one of the reasons I think a lot of people voted for Trump too. I think that they were upset at the fact that I'm looking at that they're upset at the fact that many immigrants are starting to get benefits, get monies from municipal and state governments, like what's happening out in Massachusetts. And we have so many people going on, so many people who are homeless here in this city or in their cities that aren't getting anything. Veterans aren't getting the help that they need, which is a problem. And I'll speak on that. Yeah, I can say this much about, I mean, they're talking about overacts in furtherance of a conspiracy against the mayor and Jeffery Vappie. It's a lot to take in. I can say this: there were rumblings about this going on, that that the mayor was going to be indicted. I had heard. I can't verify. I can't say for a fact if I, of course, knew that was true. I have been following it, but you hear things through the grapevine. Nothing had been formal. I know Vappie had previously been indicted on some stuff. He's facing 15 charges. Including conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and making a false statement to the FBI, as well as 12 counts of wire fraud. Their trips and everything that they've taken together. They're saying in the indictment, the scheme cost the city more than $70,000 as Vappie accompanied Cantrell on at least 14 domestic and international trips to maximize their time together. Jeez. The BBC says New Orleans mayor and bodyguard lover charged with fraud and corruption. Oh, gosh. You know, I am actually supposed to go live in a little bit, or do a recording with Dana with the data. We were talking about this very thing because this is major news. I don't know too much, you know, other than what we are all reading and know of. I don't know too many facts about the case. I was on Dana's show Friday, and we were just talking about Trump random stuff. Shout out to Dana, but yeah, I did her show this past Friday, and that was some shit because I had to deal with. They had some bootlick on there who was actually just this guy was just flat out lying the whole time. This black, I don't even call him black because he doesn't even want to sound like he doesn't even want to identify with black people. But that Andrew Williams guy, yeah, that dude was a flat out, that was a bootleg. It was terrible dealing with him. He's not even worth bringing up. So let me not open that. Yeah, but I was talking about me running for all stuff I'm trying to do, especially if I get elected as council person. What we're trying to do, we want accountability, of course, of our elected officials. We want transparency, also, and you know, to foster that trust between the elected officials and the public. Because a lot of people, let's face it, a lot of people are not happy or enthused about voting. They're not enthused about that because they don't think anything's going to change. So politicians got to step their game up. Yeah, Vappie had previously been indicted on fraud and falsifying documents to the FBI. So there were at least 12 out of 16 jurors who voted to indict the mayor on Friday. Now, a lot of people, again, she's presumed innocent until proven guilty. There have been a lot of people who have been commenting on this, saying such different things about it. Of course, people who are running for mayor have released statements like Elena Marrero and Oliver Thomas and Royce Duplessis and others. Yeah, simple transparency will do. So I'm actually about to go do a show with Dana. It's going to be brief in a minute. But yeah, this was some breaking news. I didn't expect it. But you know, one thing people are talking about is once she being indicted, and whoever is the next mayor, if the next mayor is Helena Marrero, who's white, they feel that the money gonna start coming into the city. Well, let me just counter on that. Mitch Landrieu was mayor of New Orleans. Mitch Landrieu was the former lieutenant governor. He became mayor in 2000. I believe it was 2010, right after Nagin. He was elected in 2009, I think. Landrieu was white, and Landrieu didn't do a damn thing for New Orleans. He didn't do nothing. One who cares, and I got Cheryl the Pearl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. Y'all can check this out yourselves. Just look at the indictment and read it, what y'all think. But supposedly they got they got messages and all of this stuff. Yeah, I just don't think it looks great. But I don't know. She's innocent until proven guilty. It's certainly not. Anytime you're dealing with the feds, you know, they actually put a lot of work in when they do these indictments. Of course, from my experience, especially what we saw with Diddy, it's either they got a solid case or it's politically motivated or it's persecution, one of the three. That's something I've always stated about the federal government when it comes to their prosecution of others. But anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this thing up. I want to come on briefly. Y'all know I haven't been on as of late. I've just been tied up, of course, with work and campaigning. But you all be safe and be blessed, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So Trump in DC.
And all right. What's going on, PD? What's up, PD? How you doing? All right, fam. We're going to get up out of here in a second. Y'all be safe and be blessed. Yeah, but that was some breaking news that happened with the mayor. Y'all tell me in the comments what you think. Certainly, if she's not going to go to trial this year, so I don't imagine she's going to step down. A lot of people are saying that. I don't think she's going to step down. She's been Mayor Cantrell. I can say one thing about her. She has been, especially with these allegations that we've been hearing the last almost 2 years, she's been very defiant in her term as mayor. She's been very defiant about a lot of stuff, so she don't care. I don't imagine her stepping down anytime soon. They're not going to go to trial on this in October because the indictment just came down, so there's a lot to go through that our attorneys would have to look at. So anyway, y'all be safe and be blessed. I will see you all in the next one. If you love me for my time too, pay me for my time. You can drop a little gift in the Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. All right. Good evening, everyone, and I'm out. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.